The Maya civilization consisted of a large number of city-states. Each city-state had its own independent government. A city-state was made up of a major city and the surrounding areas, which sometimes included some smaller settlements and the cities. Archaeologists believe there were hundreds of Maya cities at the peak of the Mayan civilization. You can visit the ruins of some Maya city-states today, such as Chichen Itza and Tikal. Go here to read about some of the more famous, powerful Maya city-states. Each city-state was ruled by a king. The Maya believed that their king was given the right to rule by the gods. They believed that the king worked as an intermediary between the people and the gods. The leader of the Maya were called the Halak eunuch or Aha, meaning lord or ruler. There were also powerful councils of leaders who ran the government. They were chosen from the class of nobles. Lesser lords were called the Batab, and military leaders were called the Nakam. Because religion was an important part of the Maya life, the priests were powerful figures in the government as well. In some ways, the king was considered a priest too. The kings of the Maya often came to the priests for advice on what to do in a crisis and to get predictions of the future. As a result, the priests had great influence on how the king ruled. The Maya had strict laws. Crimes such as murder, arson, and acts against the gods were often punished with death. The punishment was much reduced, however, if it was determined that the crime was an accident. If you broke a law, you appeared in court where the local leaders or nobles served as judge. In some cases, the king would serve as judge. At the trial, the judge would review evidence and listen to witnesses. If the person was found guilty, the punishment was carried out immediately. The Maya did not have prisons. Punishments for crimes included death, slavery, and fines. Sometimes they would shave a person's head, as this was considered a sign of shame. If the victim of the crime wanted to pardon or forgive the accused, then the punishment may be reduced. The position of king was usually inherited by the oldest son. If there wasn't a son, then the oldest brother became king. However, there were also many cases of women rulers. Commoners had to pay taxes in order to support the king and the nobles. Men also had to serve as warriors when the king commanded. The Maya nobles were also subject to the law. If a noble was found guilty of a crime, they were often punished even more severely than a commoner. Sometimes when the king appeared in public, his servants would hold a cloth over his face, so the commoners could not see him. Commoners were also not supposed to talk to him directly. Commoners were forbidden from wearing the clothing or symbols of the nobles. The city-state government of the Maya was similar in many ways to the government of the ancient Greeks.